Hello and welcome back to Suspended Animation. I'm your host, Dennis Patholkis, and this is Saturday Morning Blast Off. Welcome, everybody. Um, yeah, it's sorry, I'm actually not hearing myself there for a second, so I needed to check what was happening. But everything looks good there. How's everyone doing this fine Saturday morning? Well, it's Saturday morning here. I know it might be different there, wherever you are. Um, so, yeah, there's a lot of stuff to talk about today. And not only that, but there's an unbagging to be happened here. This is from Viking Bitch here. So let's just get this out of the way real quick and just see what this is, shall we? So, all right. Okay. Dump that bag on the ground so you don't see the addresses. It's a new paddle. I kind of figured it was a new paddle. I wasn't sure. Nice. It still smells like paint too. Thank you, Viking Bitch, for the new paddle. Yes, I've been kind of lazy about doing redoing the old paddle. There you go. Thank you, Viking Bitch. You even went with the logo on the back end there, huh? Nice. All right. So I've got a new spoiler alert paddle. So nice, very nice. Thank you very much. You didn't need to do that. Man. Yeah. It's an official paddle. It is. It's an official suspended Fanimation paddle. That's awesome. Thank you. Although you didn't put it in blue. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Don't do that. Uh, uh, she didn't need to do it. Really. Yeah, I know. I was lazy about redoing the other one. I really was. Read the note. There's a note too. Did I pass up the note? Hmm. Oh, there we go. Well, hopefully I just didn't flash an address there, but let me see here. And of course, I'm gonna have to put on glasses for this. So, um, so there's the front of the card for everybody to see. The voodoo priest and all his powders were nothing compared to espresso, cappuccino, and mocha. So Heather says, I wanted you to have the new spoiler paddle specifically for your new channel. I've been planning on making you a new one for a while, but it's better late than never. I hope your channel will continue to grow. I am proud to be one of your subs, although I'm sorry, I'm having a little trouble reading this word that you have. I stand by my statement that pen is still the best mod. There we go. Thanks, Heather. Yeah, I mean, see me, Viking bitch. Because she actually signed her name on there too. That's why I didn't want to read that. Yeah, exactly, Pen. And we are at 391 subs. Thank you very much. And thank you again, Viking Bitch. That's an awesome gift. I'm going to put this one with the other one, which is right up there. So, yeah, let's get some business out of the way. If you like what you see here, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, like, share, and subscribe. Um, You can also hit the bell down below if you want to see when I'm beyond again next. And you can also go to my webpage, suspendedfanimation.com, and see when I'm going to be on next. I have the schedule up there. I change it out every week. And again, you try to subscribe again and it didn't let you. That's kind of weird. You mean subscribe for a second time, Stanley? Or is it just won't let you subscribe at all, which is kind of weird. Um, I also have that whole schedule mirrored on my Facebook page as well. There's also a Facebook group page. So if you guys want to sign up and basically post stuff and talk amongst yourselves. You don't have to wait for me to, come on live here to talk in the chat. You guys can talk amongst yourselves on the Facebooks. I also have a Twitter. I have an Instagram, and I have a Patreon, but I don't have any tiers set up as of yet. But I will by the end of the year. And I just want to pop that up just a little tiny bit. I know I hate doing that on the air, but hey, sure, why not? That is just really weird. All of a sudden, my headphones just completely, I think, might have given out. But okay, I'll figure that out later. So, where are we? I'll start off. Oh, all right. I'll show Marks the new paddle. There you go, Marks. That is the paddle that I got there. That is the new. There you go. That was unboxing. Yes, it was very bloody at the end there, Stanley. I told you Primal was pretty bad. I mean, not bad in a bad way. I mean, bad as in damn good. And especially that ending. That ending was just awesome. Nice. You just wanted to see the tears. I have no tears, Marks. I am Sumerian. I do not cry. I leave that to Sumatai to do that for me. Yeah. I told you it starts bloody, it ends bloody. It's a good series. It really is. For those of you who have watched it, have you enjoyed Primal at all, or is it just something that's not in your wheelhouse, or how's it going? Nice. Okay. Well, I'm glad. I mean, like I said, it's a short. It's only 5 episodes for the whole season, and each episode's half an hour long. That's with commercials. I can turn the old paddle into "Is it worth my time?" paddle. This is true. This is true. Yeah, I'll see. I'll see what I do with the old paddle. It still has Viking Bitches symbol on there, so I don't want to do too much to it. Oh, for those of you that are interested, I just got word before I came on the air here that on Monday you can go and buy your tickets for The Rise of Skywalker. I know those of you that are out there are really, really jazzed about seeing that movie. And there's going to be a run on the ticket sales, and you might want to get them now. I'm sorry. That was actually pretty funny. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you'll be able to buy tickets the day of when you go to the theater. You can probably just walk right on up and pick up tickets. I don't think there's gonna be a line for them. Hey, Mr. Roboto. Yeah, they should be giving them away at this point. I really have no desire to see it. I really don't. I don't know why. It's just, oh well, I'll leave it at that. Let's get to some of the news, shall we? What do I got going on here? So I'm going to do a little bit of the lighter news before I get to the main topic stuff. But Sam Raimi has directed a new horror movie, and he's supposedly out on an island someplace directing this. And it's been described as Misery meets Castaway. And it's original script. It's an original script from the guy who did the Friday the 13th reboot. And that's what he's doing. That's his next horror movie, which sounds interesting, especially if it's Sam Raimi that's doing it. I'm okay with that. Yeah. And the other news about that is Sam Raimi has also hand chosen someone to direct the next installment of the Evil Dead franchise. Again, still without Bruce Campbell as Ash. So I don't know if you can really call it the Evil Dead franchise without Bruce Campbell, but sure, why not? You laugh, but there are more fans than haters in spite of quality trailer. Also in Monday Night Football. That's great. So they're putting a trailer up in a sport that's dying as well. So a franchise that's dying inside of I should say, a movie series that's dying within a sport that's dying. That's a perfect place to put it. Yes, I know I'm being a little bit negative on it, but quite honestly, I really have no desire to see it. It's one of those things I'm just kind of like, yeah. I'm more excited about The Mandalorian, to tell you the truth, that's coming out on November 12th than I am anything having to do with the Star Wars movies. No, Pen. They haven't decided. They haven't even gotten a script together yet. They just hired a director, from what I understand. That's all I heard. But you know who might have some more information on that is our old friend Susan Layton, who's over at 1428 Elm Street. And I know she actually talked to Ted Raimi. Yeah. So I just have the car crash curiosity for episode 9. I'm probably going to go and see it too, Stanley, at some point in time, just because it's the completest in me. I've already seen the rest of them. Excuse me. I figure I might as well go see this one too. And I mean, I'm just not rushing out to go and see it. The only thing that's actually kind of drawing me to it is that the Emperor is going to be in it. That's the only thing. And I want to figure out how in the fuck he comes back to life, considering he was thrown into a reactor on the Death Star, which blew up. The only thing that worries me about the Mandalorian is they're supposed to show connections to the First Order, and that doesn't interest me. Yeah, no one's interested in the First Order movie for Nobi. That's the reason why those Star Wars theme parks that are happening at Disneyland right now aren't full of people. Because yeah, it's from what I understand, they also just recently there was Star Wars themed food, and they removed all the Star Wars names from that themed food just to name them food. They whatever they were, because I guess they were getting kind of funny with the names and everything, and people weren't buying it because they didn't know what it was. If you don't know what you're buying, you're not going to eat it. That's plain and simple in any language. I like the connections to the dying empire only. Yeah. I'm after what they did to Luke, quite honestly, I'm pretty much over it. And yeah. The bomb sodas were a fail too. Actually, the TSA is allowing those back on the planes again. The round sodas. See, just what you said about your curiosity, the Emperor and the Completist. People will buy their tickets. Yeah, but I'm not going to buy it opening weekend movie Fanobi. I'm probably going to wait. Because I have a little bit of time off around the holidays, and that's when that happens. That movie comes out, and so I'll see it at some point in time during the holidays when people are out celebrating or staying at home, and then I'll go and see it. Yeah. All right. Oh well, speaking of the AMC Movie Program, Movie Fanobi, they just announced. Actually, I believe it's live now. Is they're offering a streaming service for movies after they've left their theatrical run. When is that? Who knows? But it's supposedly anywhere. It's $3 or $6 for rentals, and this is digital streaming. Or you can also buy the movie for either $10 or $20. I think this is rather pointless, to tell you the truth. If you are going to be doing this, you might as well just wait a week after the movie has come out and then charge a premium. I would say charge $15 and you get 12 hours to watch a movie, a first run movie streamed to your house. And quite honestly, I would pay for that. I would pay $15 to watch it at home. I've got a damn good surround sound system and all that kind of stuff. And but yeah, I'm not going to watch something that's been in the theater for, what is it? Their theatrical run now can be anywhere from 3 to 6 months. You never know what their agreement is. And then you're going to charge $3 or $6 on it when I can just wait the extra month till it comes out on Amazon or Netflix or something like that. Yeah, Mr. Roboto, nobody watches Shutter. I'm sorry. I honestly, I know it's up, and it's just so hard to get Shutter anywhere reliably that I don't even bother keeping up with it. That's like me trying to talk about Epix shows on Epix or Pluto TV, or you name a streaming service, one of the smaller streaming services that are out there. It's really kind of hard for me to cover all the little tiny things that are out there, little tiny streaming services, I should say. Yeah, studios won't let them do it in a release window. I checked it out, and they're the same movies that are already available on digital. Stupid. Yeah, exactly. I know Movie Finobi. I understand exactly what they're doing with it, and they're just trying to join the streaming service game, and it's not working. It's not going to work. It's not going to stave off death of theaters. And I should say it's not going to kill. So when I say stave off the death of theaters, I'm not saying that theaters are going to go away completely. That's not going to happen. You're going to get the glut of movie theaters that we had in the 90s, because in the 90s there was a whole glut of movie theaters that were built, and every town had like 3 or 4, that kind of thing going on, the multiplexes, all that stuff. A lot of those are going to be shut down, so you only have like one movie house in a town now. Sure, it'll be a multiplex, but still, that is a lot better than having like 15 different theaters around within the same 5 miles. So anyway, let's get on to the main story here. Kevin Feige is now chief creative officer at Marvel. So what does that mean? That is a good question. So let's go over to Deadline and find out what that means. And so what it means, the brand and the company, is that all key creative executives across film and TV now report to him. Excuse me. And now he is actually brought up at the same level as Ike Perlmutter. Yeah, Ike Perlmutter was slightly above him, like one step above him in things. Not anymore. Now Kevin Feige is at equal height as Ike Perlmutter. And as part of this, Marvel TV and the animation generator Marvel Family Entertainment will move under Feige's Marvel Studios banner. Yeah, that's actually kind of a big deal right now, because that means that all the Hulu animated series that Jeff Loeb was overseeing and all that goes under Feige now. So does, for better or worse, Cloak and Dagger, Runaways, Hellstrom, which is in the works right now, and any other Marvel TV stuff, which is already being planned at Disney Plus by Marvel Studios. That's all under Feige now. So Feige continues to report to the Disney co-chairman and chief creative officer Alan Horn and Alan Bergman, which is also who Ike Perlmutter reports to as well. So they're reporting to the same people. And now underneath Feige, Dan Buckley is going to be there as president of Marvel Entertainment, while Ike Perlmutter remains chairman. It sounds all kinds of confusing, but it's not. It really isn't. And he's actually going to have more say into what goes on in the comics as well, too. So it's expected that Joe Quesada will remain creative lead for Marvel Entertainment, reporting to Buckley. Yeah. So, and basically Perlmutter, the only thing he's going to be um, in charge of right now is going to be publishing operations, sales of those publishing operations, basically the Marvel Comics, creative services, which is basically their licensing stuff for games and things like that and video games, and events. So they keep marginalizing what Ike Perlmutter's job is, which is great. And I'm happy about this because it means you're going to have one voice across Marvel instead of having one really good quality of Marvel movies under Marvel Studios and one really shitty quality under Marvel TV, which has been Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., Cloak and Dagger, uh, Ghost Driver, all that kind of stuff. Trivia answer to a question no one asked. Alan Horton's wife is the girl model of the original Ghostbusters theme song video. Interesting. Yes, that was a question no one asked. Thanks, Ejar. I'm glad I'm not the only one that has answers to useless trivia. But thank you for that. So much, much better news, quite honestly, in the Marvel universe. I'm happy with that. What does this mean for Kevin Feige's future? Most likely he's being groomed to be bumped up to Disney, creative officer at some point, chief creative officer. Either that or he's going to be bumped up into Bob Iger's position. Bob Iger leaves in 2024. It's not that far away. So once that happens, did I hurt Fanobi's feelings? Why did I hurt Fanobi's feelings? What did my son do now? Oh, Cloak and Dagger. Oh, that's true. I'm sorry, Move Fanobi. I know it's his favorite. He is looking forward to the Cloak and Dagger Runaways crossover event that's happening because that's going to be awesome. Yeah. So the Batman casting has happened, and we got Zoe Kravitz cast as Catwoman. So interesting little aside here. Zoe Kravitz was up for Catwoman back during The Dark Knight Rises. And she wasn't cast because for some reason Nolan just didn't like her and didn't do it. So she's been cast now in Matt Reeves' The Batman as Catwoman. I don't know. I really don't remember anything that she's done acting wise, to tell you the truth. I couldn't pull anything out of my head at the moment. I really don't know. So I'm drawing a blank on that one. And also, Jonah Hill decided to step down and step out of the running for the Riddler. He turned down the role of the Riddler. And originally, I guess he wanted the Penguin, but Matt Reeves actually wanted him to play the Riddler. And then I heard there was rumors about payment dispute. Like, he wanted a lot of money. They were like, nope, we can't give you that. And he finally decided to step down. So what I heard originally wanted was he wanted Jonah Hill as the Riddler, Seth Rogen as the Penguin, and but Jonah Hill wanted way too much money. So now they've scrapped that idea, and Paul Dano has now been hired on as the Riddler. Who is Paul Dano, you may ask? You probably have seen his face. If you take a look at the title card that I put up for this video, his face is right there. I honestly don't remember stuff that he's been in, but I know he's an actor out there that has done a lot of stuff. So Langley Neely was saying on Twitter, some people were upset that Catwoman was going to be black. No, I'm just worried about her acting. That's all. Largely, I know she's been in a lot of stuff, but I can't I literally cannot remember anything she's been in, which means that her acting did not impress me at all to the point where I just don't even remember her at all, you know? And that's kind of disturbing right there, where you can't remember an actress even though you know who she is. And yeah, Eartha Kitt brought something to the role. I mean, she really did bring something to the role. Yeah. Black cats are supposed to bring bad luck other than that. Yeah, race has nothing to do with it. I honestly, you know, it's acting ability as far as I'm concerned. Yeah. I'm just surprised Idris Elba wasn't up for the role. I really am. Yeah. Excuse me. So, going back over to Disney again, I actually forgot something about Disney. Kurt Sutter got fired over the week. For those of you who don't know who Kurt Sutter is, he's the guy who created The Shield and then later on Sons of Anarchy and is now on Mayans MC, the spinoff of Sons of Anarchy. And so he was fired by Disney because they now own FX over HR complaints from the cast and crew. And yeah, you heard there was an opening at FX, exactly. And he tried putting it off that he ruffled mouse ears, as he put it, over at Disney. And that's why, because he pushed back on them wanting to water down his stuff. Dude, I saw the Mayans MC. I was actually at Comic-Con for the very first episode of that, unfortunately. And it was already watered down to begin with. So Sons of Anarchy was started off great and ended really shitty. That's all I can say on that one. And Mayans MC is just more watered down stuff. Yeah. Oh, that's right. So Zoe was in Mad Max. So she was in the last one, Mad Max Fury Road, but she was just one of the girls and didn't stand out at all to me, Penn. Like I said, I didn't remember that she was in it. That's how much I remembered of her. It's got to be tied to his deal that he re-upped before Disney took over. Oh, got it, Ejar. Yeah, it's probably part of that, and also that Kurt Sutter, I've heard, has been difficult. This is all conjecture, but who knows? Yeah. Um, yeah. I honestly, I'm not too broken up about it. And I don't think Mayans MC is going to last the second season anyway, because it's been dropping in numbers quite quickly, even after the first season there. Yeah. Yeah, she was also in Big Little Lies. That's her latest thing that she's been in. Yeah. One of John's favorite shows on HBO, by the way. I'm not kidding either. Yeah, he was on his way out anyway, except the production deal. Exactly. I agree with the HR. Yeah. So here's some bad news. Remember Netflix is doing that live action Cowboy Bebop TV series, I should say, with John Cho starring in it. Well, they just had to put it on a 7 to 9 month hiatus due to a freak onset accident that requires John Cho to get knee surgery and then go into rehab to fix that, to work his knee back out again. Man, I'm disappointed, but at the same time, I'm glad that they are not going to, shit can this show, that they're actually going to wait the 7 to 9 months till he gets better. They're not going to recast it because he is kind of perfect casting, to tell you the truth. And yeah. Yeah, they said it was just a really freak accident, ER. So it was something that they had trained. Honestly, knees give out quite easily. And I'm fairly sure he probably blew out a meniscus, you know, I forgot the stabilizers are on the side of the knee, which cause like a lot of that's usually the most common injury for people my age. So he probably just blew it out and has to go in and get surgery and has to go through rehab for it. Yeah, I think it was his ACL because they said they rehearsed it, they shot it, then they were going through another reshoot, and it went out or something happened to his knee. Yeah, I've known so many people that have had knee surgeries and all that stuff, and yeah. Yes. But, yeah, so there we go. So 7 to 9 months that, rehab surgery and rehab for John Cho, and that's how long it's gonna take. Your age, how old is that, Moses? It's old. It's older, I shall say. I shall neither confirm nor deny, and it's gonna get older here in a little bit too, so yeah. Alright. So you're probably wondering, what the hell is Disney Plus gonna have on their channel besides those TV series that all those TV series that they mentioned? Well, funny you should ask. Go over to Disney Plus on their Twitter, and earlier this week, actually, I believe it was on Sunday, they ended up tweeting out for 3 hours straight some of the offerings, not all of the offerings that the channel is going to have when it launches on November 12th. They actually cut together a trailer that will put you into an epileptic seizure, even if you don't have epilepsy, because of how fast the thing flies by. And someone tried listing them out, quite honestly, and there was too much stuff. I mean, I was scrolling, and it was just a bunch of stuff. If you're a fan of anything Disney has done in the last, I don't know, 80 years, chances are it's on the channel and you'll be able to watch it. So, yeah, one of my favorites used to be the old black and white Zorro TV show with Guy Hamilton, and that's going to be on there. And I'm kind of jazzed to actually watch that again, to tell you the truth. Um, I used to actually have that on the old Disney channel when that used to be on. I used to actually watch that and have that running in the background because it was one of my favorite shows. And really, come on, Zorro is Batman. It's a Latino Batman set in the Old West. Unfortunately, this one was played by a white guy, but still, it was the times, man. It was the times. Finally, I can watch Song of the South. I don't think Song of the South is on there. Stanley Tweedle. uh, no, Batman is the American Zorro. This is true. Uh, Zorro based on Tribucio Vasquez. Really? Okay. Yeah. I'll take your word for it, HR. But yeah, I remember growing up with, Zorro was a big thing back in the day. And then, you know, what happened was we had Zorro the Gay Blade in the 80s, I believe it was, late 70s, early 80s, and that killed Zorro forever until the 90s when Antonio Banderas did a pretty good representation of it. Yeah. So, what else I got here? Speaking of Disney and Disney Plus, well, actually, no, it's not even Disney. I want to talk about that. Sure, I'll talk about this one. Since it is Disney anyway. Kind of, sort of, in a way. So Black Panther's Daniel Kaluuya is going to be bringing a quote unquote misunderstood Barney the dinosaur to the big screen. And you're saying, what the fuck? Because I said the exact same thing. What the fuck? So Mattel Films, along with Daniel Kaluuya's Percent banner and Valparaiso Pictures, are partnering to develop a live action motion picture because, Barney is live action based on Mattel's iconic purple dinosaur. Yeah. And what it's about, I have no idea other than he keeps talking about how it's going to be playing on people's nostalgia. I mean, literally, that's what he's talking about in the article, is that it's going to play on people's nostalgia. And I'm like, really? Do you really need a movie just playing on people's nostalgia? Yeah. I love you. You love me. Let's all kill our. No. Yeah. That's the adult version of that song, by the way. And I do not condone killing people, so just don't do that. Yeah. Just for the record, in case anybody asks. Yeah. Barney, the serial killer dinosaur. Well, they did it with, the banana splits. Why not have Barney join up with them? And they can rule the world together. uh, with all the streaming services, does cable have any hope? Not if AT&T now keeps raising their prices like they do. So AT&T now so they raised their prices earlier this year on their streaming service, folks, and then they are raising it again next month. And it's supposed to be like $85 now or $100. I don't know what it's going to be. And quite honestly, my cable service is cheaper than that. And also, not to mention that AT&T, all the problems that they have. So AT&T, of course, bought Time Warner, and along with it, they bought, most things DC, like DC Universe, which is kind of worries me. And that they're also coming out with something called HBO Max, which is going to have HBO, a watered down version of DirecTV now, and they're going to have a whole bunch of Warner Brothers properties in there. And the rumor has been for a long time that everyone keeps thinking that DC Universe is going to get absorbed into it. And that's what I keep thinking is going to happen as well. Who will pay $100 for that, Viking bitch? The people that live in Silicon Valley that make way too much fucking money and don't realize that they're signed up for AT&T now and forgotten about it. Those are the people that are going to be paying that. Yeah. Nobody who actually has finances and things like that, or a budget. So as a result of this, the new DC Universe show Stargirl, which is currently filming, has been rumored that it was going to be recut to appear on the CW instead of the DC Universe. And the show's production, of course, has denied this rumor completely. They're like, nope, 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 that's not going to happen. That's not the case. And they said, but it is going to premiere on both DC Universe and HBO Max, kind of like what Doom Patrol Season 2 is supposed to be doing, which again is still fueling the rumors that HBO Max is where DC Universe is going to get absorbed into, which I really hope is not the case, because honestly, I don't want to pay for HBO Max. If that's the case, then I just dump cable and I'll pay for that one. Because again, that's going to be, you're going to see the price on that just keep escalating more and more and more. That's AT&T's MO. They really don't care about their customers. They just make sure that you pay. They want you to pay a premium for nothing. That is the right acronym there, Joe. Time Warner plus AT&T does equal twat. Yeah. A guy named Max with an Etch-a-Sketch 18 hours a day. I could see that. Barney versus the Banana Splits. This time it's personal. Dun dun dun. All right. Yeah, I'm really hoping DC Universe stays. But it might not, quite honestly. Then again, it might, because I mean it's a different fare than the stuff that's going to be on HBO Max. Yeah. And speaking of CW, Mark Guggenheim, who works at CW shows, the DC shows anyway, I think he officially announced the Arrow replacement series, because Arrow's right now in the middle of it, or just started its final season. And he tweeted out a comic book cover for a series called Green Arrow and the Canaries, and said, well, I think it's about time we announce this kind of thing. And it's showing Mia, who is in the future Star City, who is the daughter of Oliver and Felicity. And of course, the other kids that are along with her, that are the Canaries in that. And I'm okay with that, if they up the quality to where it was last season. Because I like the future stuff that was happening last season versus where they are now this season. Because this season, I know it's one episode in, but the future stuff was kind of boring. How about a different green, as in Lantern? Warner Brothers always has this weird thing about putting their big guns on the small screen. They don't want to. They've done it with Superman. They've done it with Batman. Smallville, Gotham. They haven't done it with Wonder Woman, and they haven't done it with Green Lantern. But yeah, it's just one of those things. They won't put their big guns up on the small screen for some reason. Green Arrow and the Canaries, is that a show about people vacationing out in the Canary Islands? Maybe. Viking Bitch says, I hope we can get the same quality of Doom Patrol no matter where it ends up. Yeah, I think we are, Viking Bitch. So Jeremy Carver's still on it as the showrunner. And he was on season 1. He's also on season 2. And he has a whole bunch of ideas where all the stuff is going to go. And I'm happy that that's where it's going to go. So, and yes, CW does. It's not that they suck so much, EJAR, is that they don't have any money. They really don't get any money. It's almost like Ike Perlmutter was, handling their finances. It really kind of sucks that way. I call it the birds of prey, canaries, or what you send to die in a mine. Okay. Yeah. But there you have it. What else I have had been here? Oh, Mike Mignola is working on a live action anthology series. It's a horror series. Surprise, I know. And it's called Forever House. There's no word on where it's going to be premiering at, but it is called Forever House. And interesting to see where this goes. I mean, I like Mike Mignola. I like the stuff that he does, but he's been trying to break into a TV series. I mean, he had The Amazing Screw-On Head. He had the first episode and it went nowhere. I guess they couldn't get it picked up or something. Excuse me. And it went nowhere. So the log line for this is: existing somewhere between reality and nightmares, the Forever House will encapsulate the feeling of an ancient tale told by the fire as we explore the disturbing and macabre from the mind and sketchbook of Mike Mignola. So it's a high concept anthology series inspired by international folklore. All right. Uh, and the thing is, it's partnering with a lot of people from Adult Swim, which is kind of weird. So is this going to be a new live action series at Adult Swim? Are they actually getting into the live action universe? What's going on? And if so, it's going to be kind of interesting. So, Viking Bitch says it's because the people in charge still have the bias against TV. Little do they understand that TV is where the power currently is. The most powerful creative shows are all on TV now. Exactly. Or what they don't understand is that people watch TV and movies, and that, you can actually carry a TV show over into a movie. The X-Files did it. Batman, the original, 60s TV series, did it. You can bring that over into the movies. You start it off on TV. That way you can get all your origin story and backgrounds out of the way. And then you can do a big budget onto the big screen. That is actually what they were doing with Swamp Thing. Swamp Thing originally was supposed to be, excuse me, set for 3 seasons. So you have starting off with the first season of Swamp Thing, then you introduce a lot of the cast of characters like Zatanna, Constantine, things like that, and by the end of the 3rd season, they were supposed to roll over into a movie. That was the plan anyway, of the Dark Justice League. The question series. So Ejar, which question are you talking about? Are you talking about the male question or the current female version? Because the female version is going to end up in that new Birds of Prey movie. That is who Rosie Perez is playing. Rosie Perez is playing the character who becomes the female question. So yeah, you're not going to get the Silver Age question. Sorry, but thanks for playing our game. Yeah, I know you can have it all. And the thing is, it's just these these studio executives have too much coke being blown up their ass to realize that if they manage things correctly, kind of like what Kevin Feige's doing right now, you can have movies cross over into TV shows cross over into movies, because it's all media at this point. We all stream shit. So it's on the internet. If it's on the internet and you can stream it, you'll watch it multiple different ways. Dark Justice League, Stanley. The one that had all the supernatural characters in it. Detective Chimp, Zatanna, Swamp Thing. It is Mr. Roboto when you've used way too much coke and you can't blow it up your nose anymore because you've blown out some of those sinuses, so you got to blow it up your ass in order to get that same high. Yeah. Solomon Grundy. Solomon Grundy wasn't in it. Solomon Grundy was a villain and always will be. Dark Justice already has a good animated movie. Yeah, they did. It wasn't bad. What else I got here? Oh, yeah, that was the other thing I actually put in there. Bone is going to be made into an animated series over at Netflix, the Bone comic. So for those of you who don't know what Bone is, Bone's been around for 30 some odd years and has volumes of comics. And it got finally picked up by Netflix as a series. So Jeff Smith is the guy who created this thing. And as he says, Smith says, I've waited a long time for this. Netflix is the perfect home for Bone. Fans of the books know the story develops chapter by chapter and book by book. An animated series is exactly the way to do this. The team at Netflix understands Bone is committed to doing something special. This is good news for kids and cartoon lovers all over the world. Um, they actually teach classes on this book because of how good it is. Yeah. And he's been trying to get this thing made forever. I mean, he started in 2008 over at Warner Brothers, and they were holding on to the contract for or the rights for a while there to be put out in TV, and they finally let go of it. That's why he was able to do it now. So the story follows the Bone cousins, Phone Bone and Phony Bone, and Smiley Bone, and their adventures through a vast, uncharted desert that gives way to a mysterious valley filled with wonderful and terrifying creatures. And it's been said that the influences have been Tolkien's Lord of the Rings, Jiminy Cricket, Walt Kelly's Pogo, Peanuts from Charles Schultz, things like that. And it's a mixture of everything. I haven't read it myself, but I've heard good things about it. Yeah. I just know there's a Telltale Game of Bones. Games of Bones. Game of Bones? Yeah. Elongated Man needs a mini show movie. Eh, I'm not really jazzed about the Elongated Man the way they're showing him on the CW. To tell you the truth, Mr. Roboto is kind of boring. Yeah, Penn. I know there's a lot of people that don't really look at animation for one reason or another, but it's just a different form of storytelling, quite honestly. And for me, I see no difference in animation and movies because they're just as hard, honestly, to make. You have to do the same thinking of it. And quite honestly, your actors sure are more agreeable because you can draw them. But sometimes it's hard to get that shot right. My favorite is I love watching so Batman, the old Batman, the animated series that they released on a box set a while back. They've remastered it now, and I believe they've released the voice the director's commentary and all that kind of stuff with it. The commentary on those are so awesome because Bruce Timm actually picks apart all his own work and tells you what he even found bad about some of his stuff. And I mean, he's not negative on most of the stuff, but a good majority of it, he's just, as an artist, I'm glad to actually hear that from someone who's made it and has done stuff and is high up there and is like the pinnacle, the person that someone watches. And to see even now, he is still as critical of his own work. Um, as an artist, and I do that all the time. You draw something and people praise it, but all you see is the flaws in it because you knew what went into it. And it's like, oh yeah, well, God, that looks like shit, or they didn't see that. Well, there's that thing, and it could be something really, really small that only you notice, but everyone else doesn't see it. And I kind of dug that, to tell you the truth. So they'll never use Batman Beyond in a movie, so they could use him on CW. Uh, don't count your chickens before they hatch, Jar, because they've been trying to get a Batman Beyond movie done for a while now. If they don't do it as a movie, I'd like to see it done as a DC Universe series, to tell you the truth. Oh, Blue Beetle. Blue Beetle. There we go. I thought you said Batman Beyond. Which Blue Beetle are you talking about? Ted Cord or Jaime Reyes? Yeah. And they've also talked about using the Jaime Reyes version in Justice League. I would like to see Ted Cord myself, but what do I know? And they've been talking about doing that along with Booster Gold to do the whole team up of Booster Gold and Blue Beetle, which would be kind of cool because that's the way it was back in the day, and it was a good fit. Yeah. Hey, Kijani, stopping by and saying hi at work. Would you consider Kevin Feige as the reincarnation of Walt Disney with their ideas of a massive entertainment universe? Um, no, no. He's actually just the glue that is so he's got the vision enough to hold it all together. That's the whole thing. And he's been working at it. He's a fanboy like the rest of us. He loves his fan stuff. He loves Marvel. He loves, Star Wars stuff too. And he just wants to see it done right. And I don't consider him a reincarnation of Walt Disney. Walt Disney pulled together an empire, essentially. He put together an empire. Kevin Feige is pretty much overseeing that empire, maintaining an empire, and giving it one a viewpoint, if you will. He's not homogenizing it, I should say. He's unifying it to have one voice, and so that they're all in the same universe, so you don't have different takes on the same characters. Is Kevin Feige racist too? I don't think so. I don't know the man, so I don't know. I don't like to think of Batman Beyond as true Batman canon, Joe. Why? It actually is Batman canon. It's part of the comics too. They do have a comic series, a line out there. That's what. So Fahey is a Jack Kirby of Disney. He's more the Stan Lee of Disney. If you want to go there, yeah, I would say he's more the Stan Lee of Disney. Yeah, that's right. The Orange County Liberation Front forever. Because the Bisbees are after you, Dr. Venture. I can't do it without moving my lips. It's hard to do. Roy Bisbee. For those of you who don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, it's Venture Brothers. Season 2? Season 1. Season 1. Panda milk, anyone? Frank Miller Batman is more future Batman. So according to Jeff Johns, who is the head of well, he was the head, now it's actually Lee. I can't remember his first name now. All of a sudden I can see his face, but he is the head of Disney Books or DC Books now. All these different universes that we've seen are all canon in DC. They all are just different universes. So all the stuff that you've seen in Crisis of Infinite Earths and all that stuff, that is all canon. All of it is. Yeah. Yeah. Where's my life model decoy? I'm not gonna say. Yeah. Just have my prejudice about Walt Disney based on Matt Ruff's GAS novel. Yeah, I mean Walt Disney was racist, I know. Yeah. But you don't need to judge other people on that based on someone else who's been dead before that person even started working for Disneyland or Disney, I should say. Yeah. Jeff Johns, Martian Manhunter's brother. Thanks. And it's Jeff with a G, not with a J. Uh, yeah. What else we got going on here? Oh yeah, this is kind of interesting. So The Boys shoots out in Toronto. Amazon's The Boys, and they're shooting season 2 right now. And they had a statue up of a fallen member of the Seven who was called Soldier Boy, I believe is what it was. And set next to that statue was a new sign that had Homelander's face on it and a new character, a new woman who is supposedly a new member of the Seven, and a certain um I guess it's a Twitter site that ends up they go around these production locations in Toronto and take pictures of their production and post it on Twitter. And they posted it and immediately had to take it down due to copyright infringement. But there is a new female member of the Seven. We don't know what her name is. We just know that she is a new member. And that someone named Soldier Boy lost their life. I love that name, by the way. Soldier Boy. It just makes me laugh, quite honestly. Yeah. Didn't the Seven fall and become the Three? Well, they're not following the comics completely, Mr. Roboto. And the Seven aren't on the run now. Jeff Vader, the guy who runs the Death Star. Which Death Star are you talking about, EJAR? Death Star number 1, Death Star number 2, or Star Killer? Or is it Death Star the early years? Or Death Star and the Bear? Death Star 90210? Fleet of Death Stars, exactly. Hey, B. Cluett, how's it going? The Fleet of Death Stars. Yeah. The Death Star cafeteria. Death Star 90210. I'd watch that. Yeah, me too. Maybe Death Star number 4. Yeah, most likely that's going to be Death Star number 4 in Rise of the Skywalker because it's J.J. Abrams, and he was the one who put Starkiller Base on there in the first one, and yeah, look it up on the YouTubes. What's the YouTubes? Oh, that's the thing I'm on right now, right? Yeah. What else is there? There's a lot of news this week. Not a lot of great news, but there was just some news. I mean, so Venom 2 announced that not only are they going to have Carnage as the villain, which we saw at the very end of the credits there, if you stayed for, during the first Venom movie, you saw who Carnage was going to be played by, who is Woody Harrelson. They're going to also have Shriek as one of the villains, as the other villain, I should say. So Shriek is going to make their way in. And I'm okay with that. I mean, yeah, I mean, the first Venom movie was okay. It was better than it should have been, quite honestly, except for Tom Hardy's weird vocal inflection, whatever the hell he was doing. And yeah, I don't know what he was doing with that voice, but it was weird. And the ending kind of sucked. I mean, yeah. But I got where they were going with it. Played by Wilford Brimley. You thinking that Venom's going to have the diabetes? The diabetes? Maybe. Shrek and Donkey? No. I think they're rebooting that thing too, aren't they? Are they supposed to be rebooting Shrek? Because it's DreamWorks and they need to pander to China. I mean, allegedly. Why are they rebooting Shrek? Pretty easy because the last one, if you watch the first one, it's dated. All the pop culture references are dated, so they need to remake it every 5 years so that they can, update the references. Harrelson is too old to play Cletus Cassidy. He looked okay to me when he was doing it in the cell there. It was looked fine to me. Yeah, we could just say it's money. It most likely is. The original Cash could still voice it. Honestly, do we really want to give Mike Myers any more money? Because he's taken that money and redid the Gong Show, which if you ever, I caught it one time and I was looking at it, I'm like, that host looks like Mike Myers, but in costume, which is what it was. And it really weirded the shit out of me on that one, to tell you the truth. Yeah, Harrelson's in his 50s, late 50s, sure. I mean, but quite honestly, it's all going to be CGI'd anyway. It's not that big of a deal. Cost too much. Got to get hip, hot, and happening tweens to voice it. Yeah. Justin Bieber, Kim Kardashian as Fiona. Who else do we have that we can get to voice it? I don't know. I'm not that young, so I can't tell you who's hip and hot right now because I'm old. Yeah. Carnage should be younger than Tom Hardy. Why? It's just a symbiote that attaches themselves to somebody. So, he did have the red hair, Mr. Roboto. Go and watch the movie, and then you can, you know, complain about it. I just want to play Doctor Evil in the Avengers, and no, yeah. You think you're going to throw up? Why? Because they're remaking that movie, Penn? You know how old that movie is, right? It's almost 20 years old now. That's right. Shrek is almost 20 years old. Yeah. Anyone interested in the Impulse series on the YouTubes? Never heard of it. Oh no, the Justin Bieber Kim Kardashian line. Sorry, Penn. You know what? That was a throwaway line too. That just kind of like came to mind and went. So that was all pretty much just throwaway line. But someone's going to use it at some point in time. Yeah. That does happen to me quite a bit where it just rattles off the head and out of the mouth. And I forget all about it seconds later, if not right when I say it. So the last thing I've got here today is The Matrix 4. The Matrix 4, we already have Keanu Reeves and Carrie-Anne Moss coming back. But they've added on a new cast member, Neil Patrick Harris. He's joined the cast of The Matrix 4. Who he's going to be, I don't know. But maybe he's going to be Barney. I don't know. He could be. Also in talks to return to The Matrix for some reason is Jada Pinkett Smith, because she's not getting cast for anything lately because I'm sorry, but she sucks as an actress. But yeah, she is in talks right now to return to The Matrix as well. Because remember, she was in the last two Matrixes. Doogie Hitler. I didn't hear. I've never heard that one. That's actually a good one, Penn. Yeah, she was in Gotham, Mr. Roboto. She was the worst thing about Gotham too. So, Starship Trooper. Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, where he was wearing the Nazi-esque kind of hat and leather jacket. Yes, I forgot about that. Oh, that's a good one. Yeah. The SS uniform. Yeah. You know what it was? It was just that they went into wardrobe and they go, you know what? We got all these World War II uniforms that are never going to be put to use. Why don't we use those for Starship Troopers? That'll work. It's set in the future, right? Yeah. Oh, Jada Pinkett Smith was horrible in the first season, Mr. Roboto. I mean, horrible in the first season of Gotham. That's saying a lot. Yeah. Yep, exactly. Um, yeah, Neil Patrick Harris with in Harold and Kumar is my favorite thing. I mean, especially in number 3, the Christmas episode where he actually brings in his real life husband, who's in the movie is pretending to be his husband, and he's also his drug dealer as well, which was hilarious, absolutely hilarious. So yeah, some good stuff there. I heard, that they've been talking about doing another Harold and Kumar as well, which I'd be all up for because that's one of my favorite stoner movies, stoner series, I should say. Speaking of anyone interested in the new Taika Waititi movie? Yeah, Jojo Rabbit, definitely. Stanley, I'm definitely want to see that. The thing is, I can't find it playing anywhere near me. I think it's supposed to be playing at the end of this month, someplace near me. But again, if they actually just offered on a streaming service, I'd pay the $15 to watch it streaming to my house. But nope, not going to happen. Dr. Horrible was okay. Yeah. Yeah, I keep seeing scenes from Jojo Rabbit, and it just makes me laugh. That Sam Rockwell's in it, along with Scarlett Johansson. The Lighthouse, on the other hand, I could wait till it comes out on DVD or something like that, or cable, and just watch it then. Yeah, The Lighthouse doesn't interest me for some reason. But yeah, the Jojo Rabbit definitely interests me. But maybe Will Smith could be in the current Matrix. No, God, no. No one wants Will Smith in anything good. No, I've never watched that HR. Yeah, I have not. Uh, Neil Patrick Harris as the new Agent Smith. That could be interesting, Agent Future. I could see that. Wow. If you have to have one, will you take Will or Jada? Jada, because she's such a shitty actress that she blends into the background. Will Smith has too much clout, and he used to have a writer in his contract that he approves the script. He can make changes to the script, and he can also has final cut rights, if I remember correctly. And he's the reason why I'm fairly sure Suicide Squad was as shitty as it was, because I believe that was the last movie that he had those rights available. Although he could have had it also for this last one, Gemini Man, because I heard this Gemini Man was horrible, like god awful horrible. No, I don't think anyone did. It crashed and burned in the theaters. Neil Patrick Harris doing lines of coke off a hooker's ass is forever etched in my mind. You mean while he was standing up driving in the in Carolyn Kamar's car? Yes, that was pretty damn funny. Suicide Squad was god awful, Mr. Roboto. So much so that they're not even referencing it in Suicide Squad 2. That's how bad it was. Yeah. Um, we won't really get another good villain movie. What are you talking about? Noah Hawley right now is in talks with Marvel to produce his movie on Doctor Doom. It's a Doctor Doom centric movie. He has a script that he had when before Fox got taken over. He was working on it at Fox, and then when Disney took over Fox, he's now in talks with Marvel in order to make it. Yeah. It needed more Joker, really, Pen? It needed more Hugelo Joker or less. So that was the other thing I've been reading too. Is I guess that Jared Leto um, implored Warner Brother executives to stop the Joker movie from happening, the Joaquin Phoenix one, because he knew that if it came out, he was no longer going to play the Joker whatsoever. Which is fine because I don't want him to play the Joker ever again. Oh, Mark Magino, yeah, Dan Stevens as Doctor Doom, as Victor Von Doom. That would be fucking brilliant casting right there. It really would. I could see that happening. Yeah. No, he wasn't getting another shot, Pen, because yeah, he ruined his version of the Joker. Everyone says is not the real Joker. So, and I agree with them. He is not the real Joker. I want to say it was a henchman that used to work for the Joker and ended up uh, donning the guise of the Joker after the Joker died by slipping on a bar of soap or some chattering teeth or something like that. Yes, Noah Hawley is very money. Exactly, Stanley Tweedle. To use the 90s vernacular. Laughing fish. Yeah, you know what? No one does the laughing fish. They haven't done that. I mean, that would be a great story to do. Actually, I might boot that up afterwards here. I might put on Batman the Animated Series, the Laughing Fish episode, because that was a good episode. Excuse me, my stomach just kind of rumbled there. Maybe you even heard that. So, well, that's pretty much all I've got going on there. Um, and looking at the time on the wall, well, I can go a little bit longer here. But um you heard it. Wow, you heard my stomach rumble. That was pretty loud. See, I'm telling you, I think something's going on with my headphones where I don't hear anything at the moment. So, your explanation of Leto Joker is a great story. Unfortunately, no one wants him back to do that story. Yeah. It's I yeah. I did increase the gain at the start, didn't I? Just a little bit. Here, I'll bring it down just a whoops, the wrong one. At the tad. There we go. It's a little bit better. So I increased it just a tad. Sorry about that. You weren't supposed to hear my stomach rumble. That's what happens, when I'm running around in the morning trying to get stuff together. Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't work that way, Mr. Roboto. Besides that, I can't do the laugh anyway. So, if you like what you see here, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button down below, like, share, and subscribe. Also, if you want to see when I'm on next live, you can hit the bell down below. You will only get a 50-50 shot of actually getting notified on time because that's the way YouTube rolls. But you can always go to my website, suspendedfanimation.com, take a look at the schedule that's up there. Also, if you're still on the fence about joining up, you'll see a video at the very end that pops up here And it's basically they're using the algorithm of everything you've watched, they being the YouTube, and plucking a video out of my vast video library and popping it up there just for you. Up here will be Titans, last night's Titans. Also, I have a Twitter, I have an Instagram, and I have a Patreon page. I don't have any tiers up as of yet. So, have you watched the 90s animated Silver Surfer series? I did, EJAR, when it first came out. I haven't watched it since, but yes, I have watched that. Yeah. How's your Patreon doing? Uh, it's going, Joe. No, my stomach does not feel ooky, Jar. It's I'm just hungry, that's all. Yeah. Yeah. A little bit of water to wash that down, as a matter of fact. Okay. I'm trying to think of anything else that I'd heard about or read about this week that oh, that's right. That's right. Next tomorrow is going to be Mr. Robot and Watchmen. That's right. It's a double header tomorrow. So not only am I doing I'm doing Mr. Robot first because Mr. Robot's fucking awesome, and I don't know about Watchmen. And so Watchmen is going to be jettisoned over to the second tier, to the 815, or excuse me, the 915 slot. Yeah. And we'll see how that goes. So yeah, it's not a 2-for-1. It's going to be two separate streams. I'm actually going to close the first stream, which is going to be Mr. Robot, and then I'll start up a second stream for the Watchmen or Watchmen. Yeah, we'll see how Watchmen is. I mean, if it's typical Damon Lindelof shit, I might have to just shit can it. So, but I'll do the first one and see how it goes. Dennis, I learned that if it's in print, it must be true, and no one could fake a photo in 1942 this last week. Huh. Okay. I'm skeptical, but I like The Leftovers. Yeah, I wasn't big on it. Odds on it making it 4 episodes right now, Penn, it's 50-50. It really is. It's anybody's guess on that one. It really is. I just don't like what they did with the Rorschach character. Yeah. Yeah, but that's I don't know, Mark. So The Leftovers was somebody else's series that Lindoff translated to the small screen, whereas The Watchmen is set in the future. It's 30 years past the events of the movie. And sure, he got Dave Gibbons to sign off on it, but not Alan Moore. And there's no way in hell you're going to get anybody to get Alan Moore to give. I don't care who does whatever version of Alan Moore's work, he's not going to be happy with it because he's a grouchy man. That was one of the things I read was Damon Lindelof says that he believes that Alan Moore put a Scottish curse on him because he can't sleep, supposedly. And he thinks that he also did that to Zack Snyder's Watchmen movie as well, is that Alan Moore put a Scottish curse on the movie. I don't think you need to put a Scottish curse on the movie. The movie was just bad. So, yeah. It followed the movie, the comic beat for beat, except for the end, which pretty much any idiot could have done that because it was a storyboard, essentially. But it lacked heart. I mean, it lacked any kind of soul to it. It was just it was a nice aping of something. The Watchmen HBO may or may not be equal to Pennyworth. I know you keep pushing Pennyworth, Mr. Roboto. I'm still not going to cover it. It's on Epix. It's another streaming service I'm not going to pay for. I'm sorry. It's just, especially since it's one series on one other streaming service. I have no interest in it. And I already covered Gotham as it was, and I don't want to cover it's the same showrunners as Gotham, and I really don't want to cover it. Yeah. That's your favorite Snyder movie, really, Stanley? My favorite Snyder movie is still 300, but that's my only Snyder movie that I like is 300. I know you think I was going to say Sucker Punch, but ah, ah. EJ, I really wanted to like the movie, watched it in the theater, bought the DVD to see why I didn't like it. Really? You even bought it on DVD to see why you didn't like it? I can tell you why I didn't like it. Like I said, there was all he did was he aped the storyboarded scenes, but he didn't put any heart into it. He didn't have the characters, he didn't have the actors emote the feelings of what's happening in their scenes. So they played it flat, and that's why it's garbage. And it's because that's the way he does things. He does things as a music video director is pretty much how he films things. And 300 works because you're doing bombastic stuff. It's a tale that is told by someone over a campfire. And yes, you're doing some really out there kind of shit. You are exaggerating things, which is perfect for a music video, is when you are exaggerating items. And that's why 300 works and why Watchmen doesn't. And also why Sucker Punch doesn't either, because, well, not only that, it's misogynistic. I mean, just hugely misogynistic and just horribly bad. Yeah. Yeah. Uh, does that service have anything else? Epics? No, Pen it doesn't. That's why I'm not bothering with it. It's not worth it. Mr. Roboto, CW is Dawson's Creek. It always has been Dawson's Creek, and that's what every show copies is the Dawson's Creek model. Once you're aware of that, then you can actually get through and watch whatever on that and know what you're getting into when you go into it. It's like, oh, okay, that's going to be Dawson. That's going to be what's his face, Joshua, and that's going to be what's her face. Yeah, I forgot the name of the characters on Dawson's Creek. Sorry. I like the empty characters in Watchmen. I thought it was on purpose. Nice, Stanley. Um, have you seen that there would be anonymous content shows on Apple Plus? Yeah, I did. But quite honestly, the shows on well, it's Apple TV Plus, by the way. So not Apple Plus, Apple TV Plus, because they need to be different than Disney Plus and that plus and this plus. But yeah, it's Apple TV Plus. Um, all the shows that are on Apple TV Plus just look god awful. They really do. Especially C, that one with what's his face? Who played Aquaman, Jason Momoa. Yeah. Where everyone's blind, yet they all dress, in matching outfits and look all pretty and everything. And yeah. No, it's okay, Stanley. Apple Plus series. Yeah, the Apple Plus series the Apple TV Plus series look bad. They really do. Not only that, the Ronald Moore thing, the alternate space race take on getting women up into space first getting women up into space because the Russians got onto the moon first looks bad. I mean, looks really bad. I don't know. I really don't. No, I love anonymous content. The stuff from anonymous content is great. They were the ones who did Counterpart. Um, they've done a lot of stuff. I can't remember everything. Mr. Robot, Homecoming. Excuse me. Ronald Moore is the guy who did the Battlestar Galactica reboot. Yeah. So, yeah, The Alienist. That's right. Because I remember that was the reason why I watched The Alienist, was because of anonymous content. I tried finishing it off. I couldn't. It was just, ugh. Yeah. So, excuse me. With that said, if you like what you see, like, share, and subscribe. I'm gonna let you guys go for the day. Yeah. Thank you for everyone who joined me today in the chat. Thank you if you made it this far in the video. And I will see you tomorrow for both Mr. Robot and Watchmen. Take a look at the schedule. It's up on suspendedfanimation.com and also on my Facebook page. Come on over into the Facebook group chat as well and post some stuff up and talk amongst yourselves. That's what it's there for. Especially those of you who have channels, kind of like, Viking Bitch, if you want to post some stuff up, you can. You have some videos up there. Go for it. I know that Filthy News has posted something up there. Yeah. Those of you that are out there. Thank you, everybody. Mr. Robot and Watchman, not Mr. Roboto, Joe. Mr. Robot and Watchman. Yes. So I'm going to do Mr. Robot first from 8:15 to, it usually lasts about half an hour to 45 minutes, somewhere around there. And then at 9:15, I do Watchmen right after that. So there you go. Thanks, everybody. Have a great rest of your day. And I just want to say happy birthday to my sister that's out there too. Today's her birthday. And don't let the door hit your ass on the way out. Otherwise, you may find out that Kevin Feige is now your boss, and you got to report to him because he's now creative content officer over at Marvel, and you need to produce some stuff that's actually in line now with his vision. Thanks, everybody. Have a great rest of your day.